They're going to do one of those early little picture-in-picture style promos and announce their intention to nasty size any team that crossed their path. Bruce, if you had to define the word nasty size, how would you do so?
I think it was ahead of its time, and I think what they were thinking of is if Vader were to touch you, what you would
Oh,
call him.
god damn.
And I'm pretty sure that that's that sums it all up as best you can. Because if you're in the ring with the Nasty Boys and they would give you the pit stop, which they would raise their arm above their head after they had been in a ring sweating for a little while, and it would be a little steamy and stinky and gross and frothy, and then stick your face in there. But I think nasty size someone is that's just ahead of getting Vader.
Their theme music when they first come out is them singing a song. That song is quickly replaced. There's been a lot of discussion about theme music in wrestling. What'd you think of when you guys would try a song for somebody? It takes a while before sometimes you settle and you're like, oh yeah, whenever I hear that, I think of these guys. What'd you think of the changes here for the Nasty Boys?
Don't really even remember. I know. I believe that
We're
I
the
still.
boys.
Yeah.
The Nasty Boys. It's so silly.
Yeah. See, there you go. I don't remember it. I think we settled on a Jimmy Hart tune though.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Hart. I mean, he's their manager, so you know he's going to be all over that.
So it was just something a little different. Jimmy always had a way of. Why Jimmy isn't writing jingles even to this day, I will never understand, because he had a brilliance about him that could take anything and make music out of it. Just go, hey, what if this? Hey, how about, does this sound right? Does this set the mood, baby? And Jimmy was good at that. Jimmy was great at that. Jimmy
Yeah,
was just a hell of a musician, but not all musicians can write. And Jimmy could write. Jimmy could write lyrics. Jimmy could write music and pull it all together. And Jimmy could write a vibe, which is important.
I think he wrote like 3 different songs for the Nasty Boys. I think the one I was just freestyling there was more of the WCW version. We can't play it on YouTube here, but they all are on YouTube. So check us out on social. We'll have some links over there at Prichard Show so you can take a look at those different theme songs. We hear Roddy Piper on commentary in the match refer to Sags as Skags. Do you think Roddy's doing just Roddy heel shit, or was he learning like everybody else? And we did have a big country singer with Skags, right?
Well, Ricky Skaggs, yeah, but I think that's just Roddy being Roddy. Hello there, son. Nice to meet you. So what's your name? Oh, my name's Jerry Skaggs. Sir, good. That's good to see you, Skaggs. Okay,
Yeah.
get away from me, man. I think you dropped something in the back of your pants there, man.
Just a month after the debut, we see Brian Knobbs be the third man, down to the final 3 of the 1991 Royal Rumble. The other 2 are Hulk Hogan and Earthquake, who've been in this incredible feud all summer long. But the rumor and innuendo is that Knobbs was inserted into the finish because originally it was supposed to be the Honky Tonk Man in there in that spot, but Honky had left the company. That makes more sense than Nasty Boy Knobbs being one of the last 3, like 6 weeks after he comes in. Do you think that makes sense that perhaps that was Honky's spot?
No, but I'm sure that probably someone else who wasn't there probably did. Especially back then, the Rumble was something that was done like a day or two beforehand. And hey, this would make a great match. What if we did this? What if we did that? It just came down to being something different and something that you can't call. What if? Oh my God, Hulk Hogan and Earthquake. That's the issue. That's the big angle. What if somehow this Nasty Boy won? And at the time, it wasn't like the winner went to WrestleMania. There were no stakes on it. And we had already had, by that time, Big John Studd win the damn thing. So it just was a different era, man. No, that's folklore. Somebody going, oh, well, I heard this. There's no truth to that. It was done day or two beforehand when we're all sitting there going, okay, what works? You're working with what you have, not what you don't have.
Well, the Earthquake and Knobs, I guess, kind of makes sense. They're both Jimmy Hart's men, and I guess so was Honky Tonk Man. But I'm wondering, we've all heard and learned in years since that Brian Knobs and Hulk Hogan are real life pals. Do you think they hit it off immediately in the WWF, or did that come in time, or how did they come to be so close, as best as you can recall?
I think they're both Tampa boys and knew each other. So, they became friends because locally, who you going to hang out with? You're going to hang out with people when you're off that and during this period, there wasn't an awful lot of off time. But there were the crew that lived in Tampa, they all hung out together. They all knew each other and were friendly. So Knobs lived in Tampa, Hulk lived in Tampa. They were friends.
Well, the Nasties have always been known for their ribs. Eddie Guerrero has actually discussed how he fell asleep while he was on tour with them over in New Japan, and they shaved his eyebrows. How quickly do you guys learn that, oh, these guys are pranksters? Is that something that, we're learning the hard way? Does the office have to get involved? What do you remember about some of these crazy pranks that you started to hear the Nasty Boys were doing?
Much like the Rockers, the Nasty Boys had a reputation coming in. So, you knew guys that liked to rib. Kurt Hennig liked to rib, man. And so there was, you just kind of knew it. And certain guys like to rib and certain guys didn't like to rib. Me, I don't rib. I don't want to be ribbed. And Nasty Boys like to rib. Part of their gimmick.
The first run for the house shows here, they're going to be working with the Bushwhackers, and they even get a victory over the Bushwhackers at MSG. If you're watching along with us, that was actually shown on the MSG network back in the day. You can see a clip there at somethingtowrestle.com. It's pretty cool to see a new heel team come in and start picking up wins. And I guess if you're trying to establish them firmly as bad guys, you put them against a fan favorite like the Bushwhackers.
Beloved fan favorites.
Yes.
In the Bushwhackers. How could you not love those guys? Look at those faces.
Right.
Those are faces to love. Those are faces to bring home to mom.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.